Good morning, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started just like we usually do, sitting or standing nice and tall, thinking of each vertebrae kind of opening up here. We're going to chin tuck back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's maintain that length through the spine. Our head turns 5 per side, 10 total. Here we go. Turn, back to center, turn, center, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we're going to go on the clock for the rest of our warm up here, and we're going to start with cat cow. We haven't done this one in a while, so if you're going to do your seated variation, just go ahead and open up your legs here slightly. You're kind of closer towards the front of your chair so that you have some room to move that spine. Okay, arching and tucking. All right, or you can hold on to or rest your hands, your palms on the chair here. Curl and untuck. Okay, so either or. All right, I'm going to do mine standing. We're going to do this for a minute. Okay, let's get ready and begin. Okay, so just really focusing on just kind of like, waking the spine up here. Okay, just going through your own range. All right, you're not trying to force anything. Just think of waking up and kind of gentle movement to wake up the spine. Just enjoy. Try to sync your breathing. Inhale as you curl up, exhale as you untuck. We have 15 more seconds here. And then we're going to go into a simple march. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Next, we're going to start with our march opposite hand and foot pattern here. Okay, so we're just marching in place. Think about getting those knees up nice and high. Okay, you can do this seated as well. All right, so seated, we're right here, opposite hand and foot. Okay, just picking those knees up, getting those hip flexors active. Either variation. Once you feel like kind of like, the cobwebs dusting off after sleeping, if you want to try to raise the intensity a little bit by picking up your pace, you can do so. Or you can just stay nice and easy here too, okay? Whatever feels right for you. We're past halfway on this one. And then we're going to continue to march. We're just going to take it into a variation of moving our legs out and in while we do it. Okay, so we've got 15 more seconds here though, okay? Again, you choose your tempo, you choose the pace at which you feel like moving, and you choose whether you're seated or standing, okay? All right, good. That's a minute there. So our next one's going to be out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out, in. So don't worry about the arms, just swing them. Don't worry if it's opposite hand or foot. Just think of the out, out, in pattern of your feet here, okay? It's going to look the same seated. When we get to 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you to switch your lead foot, okay? We have 15 more seconds with this lead foot going out first. 10 more seconds. So we're getting a little bit of lateral movement here by doing the out, out, in. And let's switch the lead foot. So feels a little different. Also, we got to tell our brain to start with the other foot. Kind of waking up the brain too this morning, right? Everything's got to wake up. Good. You should feel your heart rate just elevating slightly. We're marching for 2 minutes straight here. Got 10 more seconds here. We're going to go into some hip circles, okay? 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So next, if you're standing, your feet are going to be a little bit wider, about shoulder width or a little bit wider. I'm going to push the hips back and forward, okay? We're going to do 30 seconds this way and then 30 the other. If you're seated, still some width between your feet so you have room to kind of dip forward. You're not going to feel the lower body move because we're seated, but you're going to be circling that upper body, okay? Keeping length in the spine. All right, so either or, when we get to 30 seconds of these, I'm going to tell you to switch your direction. 10 more seconds this way. 3, 2, 1. Now go ahead and reverse the circle, okay? After this, we're going to go into some 4-count cherry pickers with an arm circle. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. And then next, again, some width, whether you're seated or standing, about shoulder width or a little bit wider. We're going to be reaching outward, middle, in, arm circle. Okay. Nothing new here. It looks the same seated or standing. You pick which one you want to do. And begin. And giving a nice little dynamic stretch to the back side of the legs. While getting some movements through the shoulder joint here. We have one more move after this, which is going to warm up our upper back. And then our warm up will be complete. Twenty more seconds of this movement. Last 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All done with those. Our last one is going to be a sword pull. Okay, I'm going to take my palm and I'm going to have my palm kind of facing the ceiling here. And I'm going to pull up. And we're going to just do one side. Okay, we're going to do 30 seconds one side and then 30 seconds the other. Okay, this helps strengthen all of this area. Okay, our middle and lower traps here. Okay, looks the same seated. Here we are. Okay. Again, these are really good movements for posture and mobility through the shoulder joint. Okay. We've got about 5 more seconds on this side, and then we're going to switch direction. 2, then 1. Go ahead and switch to the other side. All right, so when I'm right here, when I'm all the way up, I want you to think of an imaginary line connecting my fingertips to right down here, because that's how, when you do that, it connects, all those muscles are being activated, okay? And think about that. Think about how that's going to, if you have a forward hunch here, how strengthening those muscles is going to pull you up, okay? 3, 2, and 1. Okay, guys, there's our warm up. We are going to do our 45-15 format for all of our exercises again. We're going to do there's 12 exercises. We're going to do 2 rounds of 6, and then 2 rounds of the other 6, and then 1 round of all 12 exercises together, okay? So it'll be 45 seconds on the clock. And these are from before I wasn't here last week, but they are, for the most part, similar to the week the last week I was here. Okay, so you should be good with the movement patterns if you've been with me. All right, so let me just get my timer set up here. Go ahead and get a drink. All right, and I'm going to turn on my fan. It's humid here, so make sure you're staying cool the best you can and hydrating. All right, so we are going to start with our bent elbow fly to an overhead press. This can be done seated or standing. All right. And again, overhead press can be tricky for some people with shoulder issues. Okay. So if that's the case, you're going to pull back into your fly and you're going to come forward and back. Okay. So if this is too much discomfort and sharp pain, okay, you're going to do this instead. All right. That's our first one. I'm going to put 45 seconds on the clock. Let's get ready and begin. These can be done with or without weights. And if you're standing, just make sure you're squeezing your glutes, okay? Kind of squeezing your glutes is going to help keep that core engagement. That's going to help take stress off your lower back by keeping the glutes engaged. Again, if you find, oh, this is too much right here, you can always turn it into this. Okay, oops. We have 5 more seconds here. 2 and 1. Good. Next, we're moving into our hinge and row. Okay, so my feet are underneath my hips, my toes are facing forward. I push those hips back, nice and neutral through the spine. I row it up, complete the row, and then squeeze the glutes to stand it up. Okay, we're on, right? Looks the same as we're seated. Try to stay present and really think about the quality of your movement patterns. Okay, it's easy for our minds to sometimes drift off to other things, but give yourself this time for you. Okay, think of, I don't have to work out, I get to work out, right? Your body allows me to do this. And if it doesn't allow you to do certain things, we learn to modify and adapt, right? That's how we keep going. Modify and we adapt. Good. We have 10 more seconds here. 2 and 1. Okay, so next we are going into lunges. So we can put our weights aside. You can do these standing, move on to the back of your chair or the side of your chair, either or. Okay, and we're going to alternate our lunges. All right, and or we are doing our seated leg press. Okay, so or we're here. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready and begin. Round 1, I'm going to be doing seated. Remember, if you're seated with me, you're pressing through the heel, imagining something heavy. I'm kind of leaning back a little bit to get that core engagement. If you're standing, remember you're driving through the front heel, the front foot. We're predominantly working that front leg. We have 10 more seconds here. Next, we're going to go into bicep curls with some external rotation, okay? 3, 2, and 1. Okay, good. Some rest for the legs here. All right, seated or standing. All right, we're going to curl halfway up to a 90-degree bend for the elbow. My elbows are close to my rib cage. I'm going to pull the arms out, okay, and then bring them back in and lower again. Here we go. Seated or standing. We're getting our bicep work, and we're also working on posture correction and shoulder health by adding this. It's called a no money drill. I think I've told you guys that before, because it's like, it's what it kind of mimics, like, I don't have money, right? Next, we're going to go to our tricep kickbacks with that alternating step back, okay? We're getting the front of the arm with these bicep curls. All right, and then next, We're gonna lean it forward slightly. Okay, I'm on the edge of my chair for seated, and we're tapping back. And we're pressing back, okay? Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Here's the standing variation. Okay. So I'm really thinking of that contraction when my arms are lengthened to the back of the arm. I'm gonna go back to seated for this round. We have one more exercise out of our first 6. We're gonna go right back to the top after that. Make that mind-muscle connection. The stronger, the more you can connect your mind to that contraction of the specific muscles, the stronger you're going to get, okay? As that connection grows and you feel it more, that means that you're really starting to strengthen that muscle. Our last exercise is going to be our sumo squat. So nice and wide, heels outside the width of the shoulders, toes are outwards. We're going to lower, drive through the heels, okay? Just 1-on-1 tempo, okay? Seated with me, we're lateral tap, leg extension. After this, we're going to go right back to the top. And that was our bent elbow fly with overhead press. Or you can give me your internal and external rotation if that feels more appropriate. Remember, we don't want acute, sharp pain. If you feel that with your exercises, that's your body telling you, not today. Okay, and that's when we adapt, we modify, and we can keep going. We just find something that's more suited, okay? All right, so next is our bent elbow fly, overhead press, okay? And if the body doesn't like that one, you can go for your internal and external rotation. And these can be done without weights, okay? Here we go. I'm gonna remain seated for this one because I have my ceiling fan right above me and I don't wanna, hit my fingertips with the overhead press here. Remember, if I'm standing, I'm trying to keep those glutes engaged so I'm not arching too much through my lower back, especially as we press up overhead, okay? Or even when we're doing this, okay? So either variation. Our hinge and row is next. Remember to take your drinks as you need them. The clock doesn't have to dictate when you're allowed to have a drink. If you're thirsty, go ahead and get a drink. 2 and 1. Okay, so moving on to our hinge and row. Feet are underneath the hips, toes are facing forward. All right, we're going to go ahead and push those hips back. Look how neutral I'm here. I want to imagine I can put a tray on my back here. Okay, even if it's up here, the idea is you want to feel like you don't want to be rounded like this. Okay, here we go. Remember, we're really squeezing the glutes. I want you to think of the glute squeeze is what's making you stand back up into straight, okay? So versus thinking my head's going to guide me back up to standing, think of squeezing here is what's lifting you straight, okay? From where the source of the movement is. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, we are back to lunges or alternating seated leg press. I am going to do the standing variation this round. All right, so I'm going to hold, my option is to hold onto the back of the back of the chair with both my hands. All right, I'm going to step it back, lower down, drive through this front heel, return, other side. It's okay if you feel sensation in the back leg, but your mind-muscle connection should be focused on the front leg, okay? Driving through the heel to stand yourself back up tall is going to help connect your mind and glute together. If this feels too intense, you can always go to the alternating seating leg press I did first. Good, we have 3 more seconds here. And time. Okay, Going back to our bicep curl with external rotation, seated or standing. This exercise is the same either way. Just if you're standing, again, remember, you're squeezing, you're trying to tuck this in here a little bit, okay? Coming up halfway, 90-degree bend, out, in, down. So this works the front of our arms, the biceps, and also gets into those shoulder, internal and external rotators, little tiny muscle groups. Ten more seconds here. Then we're going to work the back of the arm with our tricep kickbacks and those alternating tap backs. 2 and 1. All right. So next, either seated or standing. Just a slight bend here. You don't have to bend all the way back. All right, here we go. In 3, soft knees, 2 and 1. And tap back. So I have about 90% of my weight in the front foot, 80 to 90%, and I'm just tapping the toes back with the back. And when my arms are extended long, I'm thinking squeeze, squeeze, okay? Make the connection. Make the muscles work. Three, 2, and 1. Okay. Final exercise in this 12-minute block is our sumo squats. Okay. So, or lateral tap with leg extension if you're seated. So nice and wide, heels are outside the width of the shoulders, toes are out. We're going to lower down, drive it up. Okay. My toes, I can like lift my toes up off the floor because when I'm right here driving up, I'm really thinking of pushing my heels down to lift my body. It's going to help get that glute engagement. And feel your inner and outer thighs working, your glutes. Nice whole body leg exercise here, or whole leg exercise here. I'm going to break after this and go into our next 6 exercises. 3, 2, and 1. All right, nice work. First 12-minute block is complete. All right, go ahead and recover, get a drink. Next one, these were our strength-based exercises. The next one here are going to be a little bit more of our cardio variety. So we're getting a good mix of strength and conditioning with our workout today. Okay, so our first one is going to be our grapevine. So remember, that's step, foot back, step, clap, step, foot back, step. And I just tap. I tap on that foot. If it still feels like, oh, I'm not getting it, remember, you can just step together, step, clap. You don't even have to bring that foot back. You know, take a little bit of that rhythm out of it and just keep it nice and simple. Okay, it's the same. It's the same count. Okay, the count doesn't change. You'll still be on rhythm. It's just simplifying the movement a little bit. And if you're advanced, I want to offer this one today. If you feel like you've got it down, step, back, step, knee, step, back, step, knee. Okay, so if you feel like you've got it down, you just want to take it up a notch, give me a knee. All right. All right, let's get ready. Starting our second block. All right, and then for the seated variation, we're going to do 2 tap, 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 tap. Okay, that's how we're going to do it. All right, so go ahead. Let's start with our grapevine. Get ready. In 3, 2, and 1. And I'll stay with the seated. So 2, 3, 2, 3. All right, so I'm doing seated. It's hard to mimic the grapevine identically from the seated position. So we are just going to get those lateral legs The goal is we want to be moving side to side here. Next exercise, we're going to do 2 front kicks. Oops, can't talk, do it at the same time today. 2 front kicks to 2 knee raises and time. So seated, it's going to look front kick, knee, knee. Okay, standing, front, knee, knee. If that feels too challenging and you just want to toe tap, knee, knee, do that instead. We're on, okay? So either you're alternating front kick or toe tap to your alternating knee. You pick the level that feels best for you. So there's a lot of core work here. It's core and cardio kind of put together in one here. Also working the hip flexors. 10 more seconds here. You can take it to the toe tap if the front kicks start to feel a little tiresome, or if you feel your balance is off. And time. Okay. Next, regular sit squats. Okay. Regular sit squats. So driving up, tapping down, driving up, tapping down. Okay. And for our seated variation, we're going to alternate our leg extensions. And what I want you to do is slow it down for a second so you feel when I'm here with that flex foot, I squeeze the top of my leg. Okay. Flex foot and squeeze. You're seated with me. Right. Making that mind muscle connection. Okay. Trying to feel sensation and muscle contraction in the top of this leg with this seated variety here. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and time. Okay, next we are going to do jumping jacks. Okay, so seated, you're right here. And if overhead doesn't work, you can take it to a T-fly. So play around with the variation for your arms. And the same goes for a standing variation, okay? Either here or here. Okay, stay seated for round 1. Jumping jacks are a great total body exercise. Help keep our cardiovascular system strong and get all the joints moving, right? You should feel your heart rate come up with jumping jacks. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, next we are going into high knee to hand curl. So seated, I'm going to be towards the edge so I can knee, pull back, okay? So standing is knee, pull back, okay? And then again, all right, here we go, we're on. Knee. You pick your rhythm and tempo, all right? We all march to our own beat. You find your rhythm that works for you and your unique body, okay? Just want you to focus on staying present with your movement patterns and listening to how your body's responding. 5 more seconds here. 2 and 1. Okay, now our last one is, we did this last time I was here. It's uppercut with these little taps. Okay, so we're getting some rotation here. So standing, it's uppercut. Okay, so kind of like punching up towards the ceiling, right? Give it a little tap back. Okay, we're on. Seated, you're not going to get as much rotation with the foot, but you should really feel this torso rotation, okay? punching up towards the ceiling. That was exercise number 6. So after this, we're going to go right back to the top of the second block. And I'll move to standing for the majority of the exercises. The ceiling fan prevents me, else I'll do it seated. And time, okay. So back to our grapevine, okay? Grapevine or just step together, step, clap, okay? All right, here we go. Round 2 in 3, 2, 1. Step back, step, clap. Halfway on this one. Almost there. 10 more seconds on this. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so next is our front kick, knee, knee. Remember, if that kick feels like not safe for you, you feel like your balance is off, toe tap, knee, knee. Let's go. And if you're seated, just remember to be a little bit on the edge of your chair, not like off your chair, but you know, closer to the front so you have a little bit more movement, okay? You don't have to strive for a really high kick. If your body doesn't want to go up high here, don't try to force it, okay? Again, your unique body. Trying to elevate that heart rate slightly. Keep it going. Keep it going. We have 5 more seconds. 2 and 1. Good. All right, moving on. We have squats, okay? Sit squats or just your alternating leg extensions. You're just going to slow it down so you can feel that contraction through the front of the leg, okay? Here we go in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to tap it down, drive it up, okay? I'm trying, my goal is with the sit squat is I'm trying not to get too comfortable on my seat. It's almost like, remember, any of you have like a leather seat in your car and it's like a hot summer day and you go sit on it and you're like, oh, that's too hot. Kind of think like that, like, oh, you don't want to hang out there too long, right? If you can help it, of course. If your body's like, I'm moving a little slower today, please just, you know, listen to your body. That's what we're working towards, okay? But we always modify and adapt as we need to. 2 and 1. Okay, so next is our jumping jacks, okay? So I think what I'll do is I'm gonna do my seal jack variation so that I don't have to worry about the ceiling fan above. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. So you can do either or variation, arms pulling back or coming up overhead into a traditional jumping jack pattern. I'm choosing that flexed foot variation, which is a little bit slower than maybe our toe tap, because you have to use a little bit more muscle with that flexed foot, okay? You get a little more of a glute med contraction right here with the flexed foot. Neither way is wrong. It's just shifts the focus a little bit, okay? 10 more seconds here. Getting a drink whenever you need it. This one's a little more working on our heart rate, so you may find you need to take a little bit more rest to get a drink. Time on that one. Next is our high knee to hand curl. Okay, so alternating one knee raise each, and then one hand curl each, okay? Closer towards the front of your chair for this one if you're seated so that you can tap that foot back. We have one more exercise after this, which will take us through our second 12-minute block. And then we just have one more. Ten more seconds here. And time, okay? Last one is that uppercut. Okay, we're kind of punching towards the ceiling. I'm scooping and punching, and I pivot on that back foot. With the standing, you're not going to pivot. You will feel a lot of rotation through your torso. They both feel nice, either variation, okay? We're going to break after this. Then we're going to put the first block and the second block together for one round. Three, two, and one. Okay, we're gonna relax here. Let's take a break, okay? Whew, feel my heart through that. So like it accumulates too. You know, you start to feel it more and more as we're working out for longer, okay? So again, just always listening to your body, okay? So we're gonna go back to the very top, all right? More of our strength exercises to start. And we're going to start with our bent elbow fly to either our overhead press or our bent elbow fly to our internal and external rotation, okay? I'm gonna do this one seated because of the ceiling fan, all right? So let's go ahead and get ready. This is our final round through of everything. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So we're gonna pull back, press up, or do our internal and external rotation. I'm thinking of the back of my shoulder blades as pulling this back, right? Right, this fly works the back and the press works the top of the shoulders. Or if you're doing that internal and external rotation, it also works the shoulders. Last set of these, we've got 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All right, nice work. We're going to go into our hinge and row, seated or standing. Remember, I'm closer towards the edge of my chair here. Feet are underneath the hips. We're going to hinge forward, row, and then come back up, okay? Ready? And begin. Focus on that movement pattern. There's 4 parts involved: the lowering, the pulling up, the lowering the arms down, and then the standing up, okay? Think about if you were bending down to pick up a laundry basket or something on the floor here, how this kind of mimics a pattern that you would use in everyday life here. Okay, we're using all those muscle groups that you would use to pick something up off the floor and stand back up straight. And time, we're done with those. All right, next is our lunges or our alternating seated leg press, okay? You can hold on to the back of the chair with both hands for your lunges, or you can also decide to do something if you're a little bit more advanced. You might just want the chair next to you and you're using a little bit less support. You're just challenging your balance a little bit more and your muscles a little bit more. One of the key notes is you're always trying to remember to keep some distance between your left and right foot, okay? You don't want them one in front of the other, okay? You want to keep some space between the legs for balance, okay? Don't let your hands on the chair do all of the balance for you. Try to think of positioning your body in a way that's going to help you maximize your balance without the help of a prop, okay? And time on those. All right, next we are going into our bicep curls with internal and external rotations of the same seated or standing. Let's get ready, and here we go. Halfway up, out, in, and down. So 90-degree bend through the shoulder. Bring it in and out. Bicep curl with the no money drill. Working on our arm strength, posture. Remember, if you're standing here, I've got my hips tucked here a little bit. I'm squeezing my glutes, okay? My knees are soft. Last 3, 2, and 1. Okay, back to the back of the arm now, okay? So just a slight forward lean here, okay? Soft knees as we tap back and kick back, okay? And 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So when my arms are extended straight, I'm really thinking of squeezing. If you're in the seated position, your glutes or your back side is kind of closer towards the edge of the chair, so you can tap that foot back, okay? You pick your tempo and pace, okay? Remember, we all have our own rhythm, body that we need to listen to. Got 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going into sumo squats next, okay? So either that or your lateral tap to leg extension for the seated variation. Okay, I'm gonna go nice and wide with my heels here. They're outside the width of my shoulders. Toes are out, I'm gonna look her down. Drive through the heels. You can do this body weight, you can hold on to your weights, whatever feels right. I'm trying to really think of squeezing on the way up. You want to focus on feeling that sensation from contracting the muscles, okay? Your mind has to tell them to do it, okay? You be the boss of what those muscles are doing. Tell them what to do. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Weights aside, if you're using them, we're going to go back to our grapevine or our step together, step tap, okay? Take your drinks as you need it, all right? Let's get ready. And 3, 2, and 1. 'Keep things fun. It's good for our cognitive health here too. To have some movement patterns that we have to think about, right? You have to think about it. What is it I'm doing here? It's exercise for the brain too. Ten more seconds here. Then we're going to go to our alternating front kick to alternating knee raise. 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, okay, so next is front kick, knee, okay? Looks the same seated, and if that, don't feel the need to try to kick it higher than your body wants to go. I don't want you to slip backwards or anything like that. So even if you have to tap, okay, we're on here. Tap, you can always just do taps, okay? Please listen to your body. You want to challenge yourself, but you don't want to push past your own limit, okay? Add that breathing. Exhale as the knees come up, exhale as you kick. It's really going to help dive into your core. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. Next one is our squats, our sit squats, okay? So remember, the goal that we're working towards is trying to sit down on that hot leather seat, and it was like, oh no, with shorts on. Let's say that with shorts on, right? And you're like, nope, not staying there. Okay, you're trying to come back up. Now, mind you, that's the goal that we're trying to work towards, okay? I don't want you to just go out all out into it if your body is not ready to. Take your time and focus on feeling the muscles work, driving up through the heels. But I know some of you are probably there. You've been with me for a while. And remember, our seated variation is the alternating leg extension, really flexing through the toe and trying to feel those quadriceps work. 5 more seconds here. 2, and 1. Please get your drinks whenever you need them. All right, we're almost done. We have 3 more exercises. Next is our jumping jack. Modified, so seated or standing. You can also take the arms back this way, which I will do because I have the ceiling fan right here. Here we go. Either flexed foot or just tap the foot, okay? Flexed is a little more challenging. It slows it down, but you have to balance more, and you're just contracting the muscle a little bit more. So I find it to be a little bit harder of a variation, regardless to what arms you're using. If you're doing the overhead or this one that I'm doing. Keep it going, just fix my timer. Got 10 more seconds here. I'm really starting to feel my body temperature elevate. And time, okay. Feel that a little breathy, okay? Next we're gonna do knee, knee, pull back, okay? If you're seated, just come a little bit closer to the edge of your seat, okay? So you can kick, pull back there. Here we go, knee, knee. And just think about your body. Is it how does it feel pulling the knee up, right? How does it feel in your hip flexors? Because this is a big area that you're working when you're doing this, right through here. Almost there, 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and time on those, okay? Whew. Final exercise, okay? Our uppercut with that pivot. Let's get a little rotation in. Okay, I'm pivoting on that back side. That pivot kind of goes all the way down. Now, if you're seated, you're not going to rotate quite the same. Your feet aren't going to do that, but you're going to feel that rotation through your torso. So here we go. Punching up, punching up. We're done after this, guys. We're gonna pull down after this. Last 15 seconds. Three, 2, and time. All right, nice guys. Nice job, guys. Let's get a drink, okay? And then cool down. Feel my heart rate's up here a little bit. Let's lower it down. That felt great for me. This is my first workout back. I was away last week, so feels good to start my week off this way with you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into some stretches here. Seated stretch, you can do a hamstring stretch from here. Okay, if that's better for you, just like this. Okay, you're reaching towards the bottom. If you're able to, you want to do it standing, you might have a lower step, or if you can with your chair, and bring that leg up. And I'm just going to try to hinge. I'm going to feel that stretch through the back of the leg here, okay? And just breathe. Nice natural breath. We're not really chasing a lot of sensation here. I want you to think of like kind of relaxing the muscles at this point. We're not forcing anything, okay? We did our muscle contractions with our workout. Now we're trying to release those contractions, okay? Good. When you're ready, go ahead and switch sides, whether you're doing the seated variation or the standing. Excellent. All right. And then this seated variation, let's get into the hip flexor a little bit here. Seated variation, you can go ahead and bring one leg out to the side. I'm on the edge of my chair here. And I'm finding this spot. Everyone's body's a little different. So you just kind of like search and feel where you feel the stretch through the groin and inner thigh. Okay. So find your spot. Maybe you feel it more here. Maybe you feel it more here. A little turn. Okay. It's going to be a little different on everyone, but just stretch out that side. If you'd like to do standing one, you can always come into the chairs right in front of you. I'm just kind of keeping it off to the side here a little bit so you can see. I'm just kind of sitting back like this, right, holding onto the chair so I don't have to put a lot of stress on my supporting leg here. Okay, I'm trying to feel the stretch through here. And then let's go ahead and switch sides, whether you're seated or standing. Feeling that inner groin stretch out here. We did a lot of hip flexor stuff today. Good, and then bring it back up to this, up to standing or just seated, okay? Last one we'll do for the lower body is let's do flexing and pointing of the ankle for 5. And now circle 5 in each direction. And the other. And then the same thing on the other leg. So 5 flex and points. And then 5 circles each direction. And we'll do 2 more for the upper body. You can be seated or standing for these. I'm going to take a seat. We're going to go ahead and gently pull, drop our head down and do a gentle pull. You can reach with the opposite arm. Feel that release of the neck. Release, coming back up to center. Let's even out and get the other side. So drop, gentle pull, gentle reach. Okay. Force it, but just enjoy it. Excellent. Coming back to center, and we're going to finish off with a seated rotation. Okay, so if you're standing, just go ahead and take a seat. We're going to inhale, we're going to arc it over. All right, we're going to try to look behind that back shoulder in that general direction, feeling a twist through our thoracic spine. Breathing. And then let's go ahead and just arc the hands over and repeat that stretch on the other side. You might notice you have more range of motion on one side than the other. That's normal, life and the things we do in our life can sometimes, make our body a little imbalanced. But recognizing and noticing that is kind of like the first thing, If you're not aware of it, you can't really address it, right? So just paying attention. All right, so here we go. We're going to inhale up, exhale, palms to heart one more time. And exhale. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the class. It's great to be back. And